Well, welcome to our class today. Today we're going to be discussing, first we'll be talking about interview questions. So if you two have experience in an interview, I'd like to hear some questions that you were asked, or maybe that you, as the interviewee, asked the potential employer, okay? So we'll get some ideas first, and then what I'd like to do is do a role play, okay? And so one person will be the person who's looking for the employee, the other will be the potential employee. So we'll have to think of a situation, a business, something like that. So we have some information, all right? So first thing I want to do is take a look at some questions. So what I'll do here is I'll pull up my Microsoft Word, and we can go ahead and start thinking of some good questions. All right, so 1 second here. Great. Okay, so welcome to our whiteboard for today. And so Rafa, you told me before class today that you have to go to work. Did you have an interview for that company?
If I had, in what sense? Yes, when I began to work in this company, I had an interview with different persons, with different people, more than one interview, and also I can remember different questions about what I gonna do in that company, what I gonna try to make different in the company, and different questions about the position, about my expectations, also about salary or wage. I remember different questions. Yeah.
Okay, well, perfect. So first what we'll do is we'll say I'll make this bigger for you. Only 18 works pretty well. So the employer, okay, so the person who is looking for an employee, all right. So what are some questions you think the employer would ask? Or what questions did they ask you when you first started off? And Alex, go ahead and you can interject, you can speak as well. I know you say during class sometimes that you have to go back to work, so I know you're working as well. So yeah, any questions? Okay.
One of the most important could be about the experience that you have.
Okay, so what kind of experience do you have maybe with this type of job? I mean, it depends because we don't have a specific situation quite yet. That's fine. Alex?
Yeah, I want to say another way for this question. Tell us about yourself.
Okay, tell us about yourself. That's great. And actually here, I'm going to put position as well, okay? Tell us about yourself. Good. It's a great example. It's not exactly a question, but it's tell us about yourself. So it's a statement saying, tell me. So good. Other ways or other things.
Yes, I want to add. In a regular way, employee ask what a benefit you can bring to a company.
Okay, so let me think. How will you benefit our company, for example, more or less? There's also a very informal way of what will you bring to the table? Not that they would ask you, but I think it's still a good question for us to see, and so we can compare. So how will you benefit our company? What will you bring to the table more informally, okay?
and or they can ask why you interested for company or for company in general, I think, but maybe for this position.
Okay, very good. So where are you interested in working with us? Also about the company sometimes is asked because they're looking for serious people. And if you apply for a job, hopefully after you apply for the job, you do some research, especially about the company before you have the interview. So maybe you send out, excuse me, multiple English resume and American English resumes and British English curriculum, your CV, to multiple companies. Okay, and then this company calls you, say, hey, I'm from this company. You sent us your resume. We'd like to do an interview. And so before you go to the interview, you should definitely research a bit about the company. Okay, because they might ask, and that they're looking for someone who is serious, okay, who's serious about the job, okay? So that's another good question. Good. Anything else that we can think of here?
Also, many times they ask about your strengths or your weakness. Could be another way to ask about yourself.
Okay, weaknesses. Good. So what are your strengths and weaknesses? What are good things about you and bad things? Now, when they ask about your weaknesses, how should you reply?
I think you need to be a little bit sincere and said anything bad about yourself, a little thing that you make in a bad way. For example, I am a pet peeves, or I am worried about pet peeves, or I am very too much self-demanding with myself. A little bad thing about yourself, I think.
Good. And another way that you can kind of say something negative about yourself, being honest is very important. But you can say, but I'm working on it. For example, if you're a person that's always late, okay, you can say, well, I arrive late sometimes. However, I'm working on that, and I now leave my house 10 minutes before I did before, for example, or maybe I get up 10 to 15 minutes before I did with my other job or something like that. So you can say something negative, but also say that you're trying to change that. Okay, that is also helpful in interviews. As far as being very self-disciplined or very demanding, a perfectionist, maybe it's a weakness. However, it's not necessarily that bad in the company's eyes. You can say, I'm really hard on myself when something goes wrong. And so you feel very badly about the situation and take it personally. Okay, that's if you're hard on yourself. And that way you can just say, I'm really demanding. I'm self-demanding. I want the best of the best always. And I'm trying to leave work at work, for example. I don't try and bring my problems home with me. So that is another way that you can talk about that. Hi, Ken. Nice of you to join us. Not
Yes,
sure when
hello, how are you?
Hi. We are
Yes.
talking about job interview questions at the moment.
Okay.
So we're talking about different questions that we've been asked when we
Okay.
find a job. Okay. So
Okay.
can
Do
you
you
have any...
hear the background noise from me? No, no problem.
No, it's fine.
Okay, thank you.
So can you think of any questions, Ken? Anything that we don't have here? So what kind of experience do you have about yourself? How will you benefit the company? Why are you interested in working with the company and what you know about the company? And then talk about strengths and weaknesses. Okay.
About me or about the company? Maybe about me.
Well, that's the second one we have. Tell us about yourself.
Okay. Yeah, maybe I would research the company beforehand on the internet or some networks if I could get the information from that, and yeah, maybe I would answer the kind of such question. Maybe honestly, but not so I can say strategically.
Exactly. Strategically. Yeah.
Strategically, yes.
It's a terrible word to pronounce. Strategically.
Yeah, strategically. Yeah.
Have a strategy, right?
Yeah.
Good. Okay, so it's exactly what we were talking about. Good. Any other examples of questions that you can think of? These are really great questions. I can think of one is, what are your long-term, well, I should put a hyphen in there, long-term. Okay, so long-term and short-term goals. What am I asking about with this question? What are your long-term and short-term goals? Why we must take you? I'm not sure exactly what you mean there, Alex. What are long-term and short-term goals? Okay, good.
I think it could be a good question in order to analyze what are your plans in the long run and in the short run. How do you think about your future, and what are your perspective, or also your motivation inside this kind of company?
Exactly. Yes, they're trying to figure out if you're going to be with them for a long time, if this is more temporary for you, kind of where you fit within their company. All right. So I've also added here, where do you see yourself in 2 to 4 years or 5 to 10 years, for example? Okay, so short term and long term. That's something that's pretty common. And then Alex, you said why we must take you. So another question is, why should, oops, we hire you, I think is what you're trying to ask there, right? Why should we hire you? Why do we want you to work with us? Okay. So that's very good. That's a great suggestion. Now I think we have a good base of questions from the employer. So now let's focus on the employee. Okay. So we'll put employee here. Okay. So what types of questions, as someone who is having the interview, what kind of questions would we ask? And Rafa, you had mentioned some before. What's the salary? Maybe depending on the country, when will I get paid? Because in the United States, we get paid, we say bi-weekly. Whoops, bi-weekly, so every 2 weeks. Here in Spain, it's common to get paid once a month. Okay, normally at the end or beginning of the month, depending on the company. Okay, so that could be another question. You can ask about holidays. How many holidays do you get? Personal holidays, etc. Insurance. Insurance is always a big question in the United States because we don't have free health care. Okay, what other questions can we ask? Nothing? Rafa?
Also, you can ask in a polite way, what are the perspectives of promotion in the job that you could have?
Yep, promotions within the company. Sure, that's a really good question. I hadn't thought of that.
And social welfare.
Okay.
Social, yeah.
Well, that would be insurance, right?
Yeah, insurance, not welfare. Yes.
No, that's okay. Good. So insurance we can talk about. Maybe other benefits. As you can see, the computer, it doesn't like my my short sentences here. They're just very informal. They're not complete sentences, all right? So just so that we have the idea. Other things here, what else can we think of? You say, when is the start date? Or when are you looking to start? I'd say for me to start, for example, it's a little bit informal. I would say, when is the start date, the better one here. For a more formal situation.
And also, I have heard another question could be useful. What are the expectation about myself in this position in the next 60 days, or in the next month, or in the next 90 days could be.
Okay, good. What do they expect of you, right, to do in the job? Job expectations. There are a lot of questions, and I can't seem to to think of many at the moment here. Let's see. Maybe. It's a really good question. Other questions that we might ask. I always seem to forget to ask questions when I'm in the interview. Then when I leave, I'm like, I forgot to ask all of these questions. So it's actually a good idea to write them down. All right. So if you look at the job posting, okay, information about the job, look at everything and see if everything is answered. If it's not, write those questions down and bring them with you. That will also help you look prepared and, again, more professional and more serious about the job. All right? So I think that's a really good idea too. Let's see. Is there anything else? Maybe hours? I mean, again, it depends on the job too. The hours or what shift. What shift you will work, I will work, it depends. What shift? Okay. Shift is the kind of time of day. We have 3 shifts during the day. There's first, which, I don't even remember, maybe 6 o'clock in the morning to 1 or 2 or something like that. And there's like 2 to 10, and then 10 to 6. Does that make sense? The other 8 hours, something like that. Okay, so there's first, second, and third shift, or we can also say night shift because you're working in those midnight hours. Job condition, okay. I think those are called ergonomics, at least that's what they say in the United States, to make you more comfortable. And so let's say if you're working on a computer all day, they adjust the height of the table. You might put something under your feet to make you more physically comfortable during the time. That's called ergonomics. So not exactly what you're asking. What can we say?
Maybe the
Yes.
sorry. Maybe the possibility of moving. Do I have to work? What city or what country?
Okay. So is there a possibility of having to move to a different city, state, well, it depends, country, etc.? Good question. Good. Well, I think we have some good questions here. Now, I'm not really sure how I can show you all of these questions at the same time. So what I'd like to do now is a little role play. And actually, because there's 3 of you, I'd probably like 2 employers and then 1 person who is the potential employee. All right, so now I'm going to ask who would like to be who. Do I have one volunteer or a person who prefers to be the employee, the person who is receiving the interview, the one who is looking for a job? And then the other two, I'd like to be the employers asking these questions. Does Rafa, yes?
May I am may I am the employee be?
Sounds good. So Alex and Ken, you two will be the employers. Okay. So what you might want to do is just go ahead and maybe Ken ask a question, then Alex asks a question, so there's not a lot of confusion about who's speaking or something like that. Okay. So now we need to think of an idea. All right. So what company or what kind of company are we looking at? Any suggestions? Maybe, I mean, it could be something simple like a bookshop or a bookstore, or working at a cafe, working at...
Or the company, how can I say, what Rafa want to work?
Could be a human resources company, could be.
Okay, so no specific company, but human resources department, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
In a big company.
All right. Any ideas on a big company?
IT, in order to...
Okay, information technology or technologist, technician. That's what it would be. That's what you would be. Okay. That's fine. It's a big, maybe mobile phone company, for example, without giving names. You prefer IT? Well, good. I'm glad all of you are on the same page, because IT is not my good good area. So maybe I'll learn some good words here today. Good. Perfect. Any other questions before we get started? No? Perfect. Well, what I'll try and do is move the questions a little bit down, because normally at the beginning of the interview, the employers, really control the interview. And then towards the end, once everything is spoken about, normally then the potential employee can ask the questions. All right. So don't worry, Rafa, I will move the screen down so you can look at the questions that we've thought of when I feel the interview is coming to an end. Okay. Normally you can get that feeling. Okay. So I'm going to mute myself and have fun, gentlemen.
Hello, thank you for coming this interview. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Okay, shake your hand. Please have a seat.
Thank you very much. This one could be a good seat. This chair.
Sorry.
In this chair.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Chair. Yeah, please sit down. Yes. So first of all, we are. I'm a human resources personnel, and another personnel. Let me introduce another person, Alexandra. Alexandra, could you speak?
Hello. How are you?
Nice to meet you too. I'm pretty fine, thank you.
Nice to meet you too.
So, so let's start the interview. And do you think how will you benefit our company? What do you think?
I think the most important goal in my background is my experience. I've been working in a big company as yours in the personal human resources department for more than 20 years, and this could be my most important achievement, and also the most important benefit that I can give you to your company, my experience in this field.
May I ask a question?
Yes.
Why you
Sure.
prefer big company like to us to small company from like a modern type like a startup? Because in company like our sometimes very boring, you will do similar job every day, but in small company like startup, you can how it can take challenge every day. I think it's more interesting. Do you agree?
Oh, perhaps I agree with you in some point, because in a small company could be more different issues to resolve almost every day. But the big challenge for me is to work in a teamwork, and this kind of company, as bigger as the company is, um, have more people to deal with it, more teamwork to make project, to do project, to achieve our goals. And teamwork could be one of the most interesting benefit of this company. And I am like a fish in the water, working in teams.
Okay, and human resources. You wanted to get a position of a human resource department, and according to your resume, you studied psychology. So actually, human resources position it requires a lot of facilitate. I think kind of thing for humans, our employees. Do you think what you study, how your study or your experience of psychology apply to this position? What do you think about that?
Mm, as you know, and as you told me, psychology is my degree, and I am for my whole life interested in how people develop his career, his character, his personalities, and also how they put into the groups. For this reason, I apply for this position in human resources, and also my whole experience is about human resources department, hiring people, trying to get the best from the teams, and also to be well connected with the staff, try to get the goals that the staff decide. This is my opinion.
Could you tell us how you prefer question when you search when you hiring new people when the you're not a specialist in this sphere. For example, our company hire a lot of programmers, and sometimes advantage about new position it's not relevant for this position, and for IT man it's look like not good. They make laughing about this, and we don't want to how it's see similar advantages, and tell about how you will make advantages about hiring.
But I don't get what are you asking exactly? Could you repeat me, please, if you don't mind?
Yeah, I try to more clear. For example, we want to hire senior programmer for C++, and you must make advantages for publish in special sites or maybe in paper, how you will write this note, this advertisement. You ask a specialist from IT department, or you find similar note in the internet, like something like this.
That's right. Thank you very much for the explanation. Yeah, I think the most important is to be very well connected with the staff and also with the managers of the IT direction or the IT department, and try to work with them in the production of this kind of advertisement. I think in the company also, as you said before, looking our competitors in internet or in newspapers and try to do the best advertisement. I answered your question.
Yes, it's fine.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so can you hear me?
Yes, I don't know if I am a little tipsy, but I'm seeing two again right now.
Yeah, maybe another can maybe will be disappear. I don't know. Okay.
It's so early in the morning, but I don't know what is happening in my mind.
Okay. And what else? Why do you want to work here? Especially for the human resources department here.
Yeah, because I, as far as I know, your company is the most important right now at the moment in this field, IT company, and have a lot of projections in the future. And I am thinking in the next 5 years and how this company could be benefit for me. And there are a lot of perspective, new projections, new goals, new plans that could be so interesting for me and for the company.
Okay, and since it is this company is a pretty globalized company, you have a possibility of working abroad. Also, you have to move anywhere in this around the globe. So, is it okay for you?
Anywhere. Oh my gosh. Yeah, could be my dream. I am very well prepared to live in another countries. I've been living in England and in other countries for in different periods of my life, and could be my dream to go to another places. Always my wife allow me to go there.
Oh, I see. Oh, is it okay for your wife too?
Yeah, I think it could be a good idea for her.
Okay, that sounds fine. And the last question will be, could you explain what are your strengths and weakness, and what are your long-term and short-term goals?
Oh, I appreciate your question. Beginning for the last one, my goals in the long run could be to develop all my potential in human resources and to be connected to a big company. Could be another one goal, live in another country. For this reason, I think your last question is so interesting for me. It's my dream to live in another country. And in the short run, I think if I could hire for your company to get very involved in your company and to achieve the goals that you propose to me. And my weakness could be I am very worried about my problems and the problems at the company, and they affect me directly, and I am working on it, try to disconnect my real life, my personal life with the job life. It could be my weakness.
Oh, thank you for answering our question. And lastly, an interview is over. So do you have any question for us about
Yes.
your work? Okay.
Yes.
What's the
In the
question?
case, yes, I have. Yes, I have some
Okay,
question.
go on.
As far as I know, because I read in the advertisement, the wage is over 30,000 euros per year, and there is another bonus. Could you explain me about the bonus of the company? In what consists?
Okay. Bonus of this company is 2 times of the year, summer bonus and winter bonus. And 10% of your salary became a bonus. No. Sorry, I miscalculated. 10% of your annual salary would be the bonus. So that's a seasonal bonus, 2 times in the year.
Oh, perfect. And also, if I may, what do you expect from myself in the short run, in the next 2 months, if I were hired for you? What do you expect for myself?
Yes, as we said, this department, human resource department, requires a lot of teamwork skills, also the human facilitating skills. So we expect you to do such works to connect humans, or every employee work smoothly in this company. That's what we expect you.
Thank you very much. I have no more question. A pleasure.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for coming to the interview, and result will be sent to you in 1 week. Thank you very much.
In 1 week, perfect. Thank you. I hope to have good news from you.
Oh, okay. We consider it of your interview, and we decided. Thank you. We're gonna decide it. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
All right. Very good. That was a great interview. Okay. You all had great points. Even Alex, I liked his question about the big and small company. We've actually had that discussion here in class about, is it best to work for a small company where it's more intimate, more personal, or to work for a big company and you're basically just a number, you're just a name. So it depends. And then there was some really good vocabulary. So let me write some things in here. Rafa, you said teamwork. That's such a great word. And also used well connected. That was also very good. Let's see. Rafa, I liked, when Alex had to repeat his question and you asked, and then you said, oh, thank you very much. You're very polite, and that was very, very nice. I really liked that. Ken, when you brought up the psychology background and if he was, prepared for this job and why he wanted this type of job now, that was good. I liked your globalization as well, and he might have to move abroad if he's okay with that. So you're checking, all of these areas that might be potential possibilities. So that was good. One thing I wanted to correct, Rafa, is you were trying to use the second conditional. So, for example, if I were hired by you, I would. Okay. So it's the first part of the second conditional. Were hired and then by you, we say. Okay. I liked how you said Rafa as well. As I read in the advertisement, so, you're referring to, hey, I have information. I remember, so that's very good as well. And Ken, good job inventing the bonus. Rafa, did you want to say something?
No, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, good. Well, I think you did a fantastic job with that. Is there anything that you were missing? I think, Rafa, you could have asked a couple more questions about the job, but in general, it was fine. I'm not sure what you saw in the ad. Maybe it had the time of, the hours that you will work. I liked that you asked about expectations about yourself. That was also very good. What do they expect from you? That's also very important. Okay. So fantastic. Great. Any other questions about
About the bonus? What kind of system of bonus does the American company have in general?
Well, it
How many
depends.
percent Okay, go ahead.
Well, it depends on the company. I mean, for example, if you have a company that's based on commission, for example, if you sell something and for every product you sell, you get X amount for commission, that could be kind of a type of bonus. Maybe some companies have incentives such as if you arrive on time every day for I don't know how many months or that 1 year, or something like that, or if you don't, I don't know, sick days, I don't know, it depends. But if they have incentives in which maybe you could get an extra bonus, if you work extra hours, that's also a little bit of a bonus, but you're working extra hours. So that's another question we could have asked, which I didn't think of either. There's overtime pay, for example. Overtime is when you work more than full-time hours, which in the United States, I actually think technically it's 35 to 40 hours is full-time. Okay. So if you work over, the recommended amount of time, 40 hours per week, will you get overtime, and how much is overtime? Because many times overtime is time and a half. To make this simple, for example, let's say you get $10 an hour, time and a half would then be $15, okay, an hour. So you get time, your normal pay, plus half of that per hour, okay? So there are other ways that you can make extra money, but other bonuses, maybe quarterly bonuses depending on performance. Like I said, it really depends on the company, but that is a good question, Ken.
Yeah, thank you very much. Because bonus, maybe now it is changing, but bonus in Japanese company, like, as I said, 2 seasonal bonus. And yeah, so maybe different system in the US or company-based system.
Yeah, and for IT, honestly, because IT is not my area, I don't really know much about the IT world. Maybe if you find a program or find something that's more effective and will save the company a lot of money, at that point you might be able to ask for a bonus. So something like that, but definitely something to improve the business. Okay. Good.
Okay, thank you very
Rafa,
much.
do you have any? Not a problem. Ken, Rafa, any other questions?
No, thank you. Very good practice.
Okay.
Very interesting.
Good.
Role play.
Yeah, no, it is very helpful. And like I said, I think the interview went great. The only thing I think is you could have asked a couple more questions at the end, more specifically about the job. But Ken was a very good interviewer, so I have to congratulate him as well. Ken, do you think you would hire Rafa?
Yes, I hired Rafa. Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, but as the offshore interview, maybe interviewer don't say that, right? Maybe, I don't know. The customs United States. Yeah. Also,
Well,
I've heard of the backup letter after the interview. Is it common?
backup.
Yes.
Backup letter.
Or backup call sometime, maybe.
It's something else.
Cover
Okay.
letter, I think.
No, a cover letter is something that you send at the beginning with your resume, and you're explaining why you'd be perfect for that job. Oh, Ken, I can't think of the word. I know exactly what you're talking about. That they'll call you and say basically yes or no. I can't think of the specific name. It's been too long of living outside of the United States for me. Like a return confirmation. I'm not sure. Anyway, but yes, Ken, there is normally something that, we'll contact you within a week, or if we haven't contacted you within 7 days, we're not interested, something like that. But yeah, they normally definitely do something, especially nowadays with email. They'll say, we'll send you an email within X amount of days, and we'll talk to you that way. Or if we're interested, we'll talk to you in the next week, something like that. And sometimes you'll get a rejection letter, which no one wants. A rejection letter is unfortunately that you did not get the job and they're saying, sorry, but we found someone else. So that happens. That happens in formal businesses, because if it's like not a very professional job, they probably won't do it. But if it's a big company, yes, then they would do that. So it's very good. Any final questions about interviews? Big companies, small companies, anything like that? No? Well,
I don't know, but perhaps if you make some mistake in English as foreign language for you, it doesn't matter too much, I think. Perhaps it's more important your attitude, or what are you're trying to respond, or more, even though you could make some mistake in the pronunciation or
yes.
in the structure of the...
Honestly, and that's going
What do you think?
to depend on the job. Now, if you're actually going to communicate verbally with someone, then they might focus on that a little bit more. If it's sending emails, they might have you write an example email or something like that in English. The most important thing in English is if you're able to communicate. It's not the perfection of English. Did I conjugate this verb correctly? Did I use this preposition correctly? That's not the important part. The important part of English is that you are able to communicate, and I can understand you perfectly fine. You're not perfect. I'm not either in Spanish. It's okay.
That's
In
right.
real life English, that's the most important part. Okay? So you did very well. But you could practice the second conditionals if you wanted.
For sure.
Which are difficult, but not a problem. Okay, so you did fantastic. Sounds like you got a good job. An invented job, but really good practice. So thank you for joining. Looks like Ken has some internet problems over there, but that's fine. Hopefully we'll see you on Wednesday for our idioms class. All right, if not, maybe on Saturday for a different class, which will be about inventions. Sunday. All right.
Sunday.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Thank you. You too. Bye-bye now.
Bye. Disfruta.
Thank you. Gracias.